Hello?
Hey buddy, how are you?
I guess I'm fine. I'm just standing around here doing nothing.
That's cool. By the way, do you want a free PS4?
What?
It's that time of year again. Time to give presents to everybody you know for the sake of someone else's birthday. And what better way to celebrate the holiday season than to talk about a bunch of weird presents I've gotten over my life. But first things first, we need to talk about coal. Why is coal known as such a bad thing to receive for Christmas? It's a great power source for a lot of things, and it's technically part of a diamond. How is that a bad thing? So I have decided to do some research. As in, by research, I mean the first 2 results on Google. Apparently, this tradition only applies to Santa, and the fact that he goes down chimneys. So, when Santa visits these naughty children each Christmas Eve, he gives these kids coal, because they don't want or need to use it for anything. Think about it. What are one of the key ingredients used for a fireplace? Coal. What is the one thing Santa gives to naughty children? Coal. Santa gives coal to naughty kids because it's useless to them. It tells these kids that they should try better next year and they might get something they want. So you can already imagine my surprise when my parents give me chocolate chunks of coal every Christmas as a joke. But I'm not complaining. You can never have too much chocolate. But enough about coal and chocolate and Santa falling down chimneys. Do you remember that phone call I got from earlier? Well, that was exactly how the beginning of that conversation played out. My friend just called me out of nowhere, asked how I was doing, and asked if I wanted a PS4 as well. When I asked why, he said he was planning on getting a PS5 for Christmas, and since I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, he wanted to give his PlayStation 4 to me. And since this all came out of nowhere, I had no games for it, so I just kept it around in case one of my friends wanted to play with me. Here's a picture. It's, kinda collecting dust. I mean, what else was I supposed to do with it? I didn't have any games for it. Speaking of games, though, one Christmas, my grandpa came over to give his fair share of presents as usual, and out of all the presents he brought, there was one thing that stuck out to me the most. A mysterious brown box. And I kid you not, I was so curious about what was in that brown box the entire morning. The thing wasn't even wrapped, but I was told it was a present for me and my little brother. He just didn't have time to wrap it. So that got me thinking of all the things it could have been. It could be toys, candy, a collector's edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, another box, or maybe even Pop-Tarts. It could be Pop-Tarts. So when it finally came time to open presents, my grandpa gave me and my brother the box. And when I opened it, it was filled to the brim with video games, which I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, I'm not complaining, I just wasn't expecting it. My grandpa told me he had a bunch of old video games that he didn't play anymore, so he gave them to me and my brother. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of those games weren't that good, but I still took them because, you know, they were a present, so I couldn't just say no. Besides, it's nice to have them in case I go to a party or something. Which I have, by the way. Whenever I used to go to church, I was in a group of people that put on performances, and they called it champs. I'll get into the details of it for another video, but they decided to have a Christmas party for everyone in champs. That party was also conveniently on my birthday, so it was like a birthday Christmas party. And for this party, everyone decided to play the White Elephant game. For those of you who don't know how to play the White Elephant game, everyone gets a random number on a piece of paper. After that, they put their number in a bag or a hat of sorts. Then they all grab a number from the bag, and the person who gets the number 1 gets to pick and unwrap a present first. By the way, the presents have to be secret, meaning you can't tell who gave you a present or which present is yours. The person who gets number 2 has the choice of either picking a present or stealing number 1's unwrapped present. Then the process repeats until everyone has at least one present. Once everyone has a present, number 1 has the option to steal any present they want from anybody who has a present. And that's the end of the game. But for me personally, I was still pretty young, and this was my first time playing the White Elephant game. So I just sat there following what everyone else was doing. All I was paying attention to was a big set of Kinects. Do you remember those? They were like Legos but functional. Anyways, I noticed that number 9 had the Kinects. So when my turn came, I was number 9 by the way, I decided to steal the Kinects. And I was the last one to go as well. I thought I was completely in the clear. But if you remember from the rules, number 1 also has the chance to steal at the end of the game. My heart sank. I thought I was completely screwed. But luckily, number 1 was content with the gift they had. So after dodging that bullet, I took my winnings and walked home, proudly. And once I got home, I built it and immediately broke it. After that, I lost a couple of pieces and I was never able to build it again. A well-deserved win indeed, which I honestly didn't care about at all because the Kinects were the only mildly interesting present there, so I just settled with that. And besides, as I said earlier, I was still pretty young at the time, so of course I wasn't going to build the set with peak proficiency. I was just glad I was able to go to the party in the first place and enjoy the company with all my friends. So a couple weeks after the party, Christmas had finally arrived. Again. And this time, nothing weird happened. And that's because I wanted to explain my favorite part about Christmas. It's the tree, the decorations, the songs, and most importantly, it's the overall jolly and cheerful mood when everyone's opening presents. Okay, so just for the record, I didn't do nothing with the PS4. I played Fall Guys and Rocket League. So, if the person who gave me the PS4 by any chance is watching this video, it was a great present and I appreciate it. Thank you.